It's almost finals week. You know what that means. It's our last show of the semester, but don't worry, we saved the best for last.
We're getting personal with ASU basketball. We sat down with head coach Herb Sendek earlier this week, and yeah, Shaq McKissic, he's in studio right now.
We're breaking down the brackets ahead of the lacrosse team's SLC matchup this weekend.
And we're covering everything on the Diamond Line, softball, baseball, and their seasons.
It's everything you need to know to be an informed Sun Devil fan. It's Cronkite Sports Live, and it starts right now.
Let's go!
Good afternoon, Sun Devil fans. I'm Brett Deckert, alongside Jake Gaden. This is Cronkite Sports Live, and it's about to go down.
Did you really just reference Pitbull?
If the NBA can do it, I can do it.
Well, you know what just went down at a baseball game at Packard this weekend. With only 3 series left to be played in historic Packard Stadium, the Sun Devil baseball team took on another midweek game this week against the New Mexico State Aggies. Taking the ball was none other than freshman stud Seth Martinez, who has yet to record a loss this year. Let's cut to the highlights. Sun Devils now 23-7 on the year, 12-10 at home. That's the freshman sensation I was talking about, Seth Martinez, 2-0 this year, and he came out dealing. First batter of the game, though, didn't start off well, walk or a dink, I don't know. But that's okay. His catcher, Nate Causey, he's going to take care of him. Throws out Aggie right fielder Mike Medina out at second. I don't know, Mr. Umpire. He looked safe. Now, bottom one, Johnny Seawold at the dish. He gets a walk starting off the inning. Maybe deja vu? Nope, I don't think so, because Aggie pitcher Trey Higginbotham tries to pick a Seawold off, but Johnny's already flying down to second. He's in there with the steal. Next pitch gets away from catcher Taylor Neuer. Seawold is now on third. Then after a Stankiewicz walk, Nate Causey's going to come up and hit into a double play. Seawold's going to come home. ASU up 1 after 1. You know how I said Martinez was dealing? Well, here's the proof. Martinez striking a Paulson in the 6th and Young in the 7th. He ends with 6 Ks. Now, fast forward to bottom 7, Trevor Allen hits a bomb to left field over the outstretched glove of the Aggie left fielder. He ends up on second. Then, after a David Greer single, Tucker Esme hits the ball to short. Uh-oh, there's the inning. What? No, he doesn't net. Everyone's safe. Allen scores, ASU up 2-0. Now, next batter, really cool play for the Aggies. They get a triple play from short to second to first. I don't see those every single day. That's a pretty cool triple play. Then top 9. You know who has the ball. Big righty Ryan Bird. He strikes him out. Game over for the Sun Devils. Sun Devils win 2-0. Martinez is now 3-0 with a 4.2 ERA. As you can see, ASU won 2-0. Yabar with another multi-hit game. Now the Sun Devils are playing tonight against Oklahoma State at 4:30. And here to tell you everything you need to know about this Sun Devil baseball team going forward, we have Dominic Contronio and Jacob Garcia to tell you what you need to know. Guys?
Thank you, Jake. Well, we go from Jake to another Jake here to talk a little bit of baseball. This weekend, ASU heads into Oklahoma State to Stillwater to take on the 9th-ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys. A huge series for these guys, and it'll be a great bullpen for the Cowboys taking on the Lilik and Kellogg duo. How are these two going to match up?
I really think it's going to be a story of 2 teams that use their pitching in very different ways. You look at it for Oklahoma State, they're going to have their starters go 4 or 5 innings, then hand the game over to their elite bullpen. They've won 3 games in a row, and a big reason because of that is their bullpen has been so active. 14 innings, only allowed 1 earned run. Their top 2 horses in their bullpen is going to be Vince Whelan and Brendan McCurry. Both of them are 5-0, lead the team in wins, so that just underscores the fact of how much these guys get into the game. And for ASU, it's really been a story of the stars shining brightly as of late. Ryan Kellogg and Brett Lilik both have scoreless streaks going of double digits without allowing an earned run. And combine that with the fact that the 2 of them absolutely dominated Oklahoma State last time around, Oklahoma State hitters are going to want nothing to do with these 2.
You speak of that domination. Back on March 2nd in surprise, the Sanderson Ford Classic, a 6-1 win for the Sun Devils. That was a 15 strikeout effort with Lilik and Kellogg on the mound for the Sun Devils. But now, talking a little bit of Sunday action, Darren Gillies has done superb in the Sunday role, yet he just can't come away with the win. Sure, he got the loss against U of A, but the previous 2 starts, he combined only allowing 1 earned run in those 2 against Stanford and Cal. where has it been the offense? It just seems to disappear right now.
Yeah, exactly. The biggest concern for ASU right now has to be their roller coaster hitting. If you look at it, over the last 7 games for ASU, they have failed to score more than 3 runs every single time but once. And that one time they did was against an Arizona team, so that's not even that impressive. But the issue goes a little bit more deeper than that. If you look at it, in those games, innings 7 through 9, ASU is batting a sickly 154. They've scored 3 runs in those 20 innings. So if you're the Oklahoma State bullpen, they're that elite, like we said. Runs are going to be hard to come by for ASU, and as a result, they're going to struggle late in the games.
They're still looking for that one sweep. They probably won't get it this weekend, but they're looking to go 3 for 3 against top 15 teams in the nation on the road as well. So a huge series this weekend against the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. But that does it for us here for baseball. For Jake Garcia, I'm Dominic Catronio. Back to you guys in the studio.
Herbert J. Sendek was born on February 22, 1963, in the not-so-small town of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He played basketball for his father, Herb Sr., at Penn Hills High School, where he was a 2-year letterman, no relation to the 67-year letterman, that's David. He's got brains, not just brawn. Herb was valedictorian of his class in 1981. He's coached 3 NCAA teams, Miami of Ohio, North Carolina State, where he made 5 consecutive NCAA tournaments, and Arizona State, where he's made 2 in 8 seasons. He's got 395 wins, 278 losses in 21 years, and has an ACC Coach of the Year award, as well as the same honor, what was at the time still the Pac-10. And out of all that Herbert J. Sendek has accomplished, the peak of his career came this week, when he sat down for a one-on-one exclusive with Cronkite Sports Live's own Gavin Shaw.
Entropy is an unrelenting mistress, and not even the ASU basketball program is exempt. The team lost 3 players to transfer this past offseason and signed another 6 as recruits, including last week's signings of Savon Goodman and Willie Atwood. I caught up with Coach Herb Sendek to talk about all that and more in Sit Down with Herb.
I really like our class. I think we've really improved the athleticism of our team. I think we have a group of versatile, tough-minded competitors joining us. And likewise, I'm really excited about the guys who are returning in our program. So we're looking forward to the season a great deal.
With 6 newcomers, ASU has to rebuild their team on the fly for the 2nd consecutive season. But Coach Sendek has a plan.
We're just going to teach, and we're going to work every day, one day at a time. And just, the teaching never stops, and neither does the learning.
Losing Jahi Carson and over 60% of their scoring has the ASU faithful concerned. But with an incoming class dominated by skilled shooters and multi-talented athletes, Coach Sendek isn't breaking a sweat.
I love our versatility. I love our interchangeability. I think our athleticism, like I said, has improved. Our depth, I think, will be that much better. I think we'll actually have more guys who are comfortable putting the ball on the floor as you look at our roster. And so we'll continue to use the pick and roll extensively. It'll continue to be a big part of our offense. We thought we played fast last year. We want to play even faster this coming season.
And going faster is good news for a guy ASU never expected to see back on the court of Wells Fargo Arena again. Senior Shaquille McKissic was granted a 6th year of eligibility, and Coach Sendek is going to ensure he takes advantage of it.
We're thrilled, first of all, for Shaquille that he's able to return, complete his degree, and finish his last year of eligibility with us. I thought he was one of our most consistent players on both ends of the floor throughout the season, and I know he has tremendous determination going into the offseason to improve and come back better than ever.
Shaquille McKissic is always exciting to watch, and if Coach Sendek has his way, next year's team will be as well.
I'm expecting a team that will be easy to cheer for, one that we can all be proud of. I think they're going to be a very fun, entertaining group. I know I can't wait to get started coaching them.
This ASU men's basketball team might not make the NCAA tournament, but I guarantee they'll be fun to watch. From the Weather Up Center, I'm Gavin Shaw, Cronkite Sports Live.
Thanks, Gavin. So we hear from Coach Herb Sendek, but now it's time to hear from a Sun Devil player. We're joined in studio by Shaquille McKissic. Shaq, you just got your 6th year of eligibility. Huge bonus for you. Important addition for the Sun Devils to get you back next season. How nerve-wracking was that process to apply for your 6th year and then go through the waiting period?
Well, I mean, that last week before I found out that Friday it was pretty bad. It was to the point where, I was getting sick. It was just like I didn't know if I would be playing here. I didn't know where I'll be playing next year. So when I got the news, it was just like, it was the best news ever.
And you say you got the news. Tell us how you got that news. One morning you wake up.
I just woke up and I was just, just doing my everyday routine. And then I just look at my phone. I see about 30 text messages, about 30, 40 missed calls. And then I just get an update from ESPN saying that I got my year back. So I just called my mom and it was just a great feeling.
What did your mom say to you?
She was just overwhelmed. I think everybody that's close to me was pretty overwhelmed and excited.
Well, the reason you got that 6th year, you didn't exactly take the beaten path to Arizona State. Out of high school, you played at Edmonds Community College in Washington, back home, and then you took 2 years off from basketball before coming back to Edmonds Community College. How difficult was it in those 2 years to then come back and have to start again in the Edmonds program?
It was hard. I mean, initially it was just like, I didn't know where I was going to be. I just knew I wanted to play basketball. I didn't know how I was going to get back, but I just knew I was going to get there. So once I got to Edmonds Community College, once that ball started rolling, it just didn't stop. I passed the classes, I did all the schoolwork, and I had an awesome season. And, I'm excited to be here at ASU now.
Well, then you had a second standout year at Edmonds Community College. Your recruitment really started to pick up. Initially, you committed to Detroit. But then you reopen your recruitment, you decide Arizona State is the place for you. What made you pick the Sun Devil program?
Well, when I committed to Detroit, it was just kind of an uneasy feeling. I mean, not that I didn't want to go there, but it was just I wanted to explore all my options over the summer. And, there's no penalty for doing that. So once I reopened it, I talked to Coach Stan Johnson, and he was just real from the beginning. And I just felt once I took the visit in 114-degree weather, this is the place I want to be.
Well, you come to Arizona State. You weren't exactly the most heavily recruited guy, but you did get that scholarship initially. And then the M&G game comes around, and you turn it on. Every fan wants to know, who is Shaquille McKissic? Who's the guy throwing down dunks in the first quarter of the M&G game? What did you feel like you had to prove in that game?
I was just excited. I mean, the excitement was there. It was like the first real time I was in front of a crowd that big and in a stadium atmosphere like that. So, I just decided to go out there and have fun.
Well, and then fast forward to the middle of your season. You start off pretty well, and then you tapered off a bit. Against College of Charleston, you played 9 minutes, didn't score. Then against Miami, you didn't play. And then 5 out of your next 6 games, double-digit point totals. How did you rebound from your struggles at that point in the season? It's your first year in a Division I program. Did you just flip a switch?
Yeah, I mean, I had to reacclimate myself. Those were tough games. I went to coach's office, sat down with him, and asked him what I needed to do. He told me, and, from there on out, it was just consistency.
Well, you really turned it on in Pac-12 play. You became one of the Sun Devils' most important players, a key contributor on the offensive and defensive end of the floor. What is Pac-12 play like? Did you ever stop and pause and think, hey, a year ago, I was at Edmonds Community College playing in community college gyms, and now you're playing against Arizona, Cal, UCLA. Do you ever stop to think about that?
I mean, I think about that every day, but, during the course of the season, it's just everything is happening so fast. It's just a different style of play for my JUCO. Like, it's day and night, to be honest, but to be out there, to be on that stage, to be on TV, ESPN, it's a wonderful feeling. It's crazy.
All of a sudden, in the middle of Pac-12 play, you get hot. You go on a run. The tournament is all of a sudden within your vision, and then you guys lose a few games. How do you keep the tournament in your mind, focused? How does that impact you as you play every game with that berth on the line?
We just have to hit the reset button. And, that's just how it has to be in every sport when they're facing, something like that. But, we got in. The atmosphere was crazy. There's no experience like that. And I can't wait to go back this year.
Exactly. You talked about going back this year. You're the leading returner in this team in almost every statistical category. Points, rebounds, minutes, up and down the board. You're the guy who's going to have to carry the torch for this team. So you're saying the tournament is your goal?
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited about this year coming up. A lot of people really don't know what to expect, but we're looking past the tournament. We're trying to stay there and, enjoy ourselves a little bit.
So many new players on the roster next year, including a guy that you must be really excited to play with, center Willie Atwood. He's 6'8", coming out of Connor State, and you hosted him and kind of got that relationship going in his recruiting period. What was that relationship like for you, and how excited are you to play with Willie? I
mean, you meet him, and it's this big Goliath type of character, but then the moment you open up your mouth, it's all smiles, and he's just a great guy. I can tell that he's unselfish. He wants to win. We text here and there a lot, and we're both so excited. I mean, he's a JUCO guy, I'm a JUCO guy, so we both know what it takes, and we're excited.
Has Coach Sendek talked to you about taking on that leadership role and hosting these recruits and helping out the program in that regard, even though it's just your second season with the program?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, coming from a JUCO is kind of the same thing. You meet a lot of new guys, see a lot of new faces, and you just got to gel quicker than usual.
Well, the one thing, we're going to switch gears a little bit here, the one thing that every fan knows you for, we talked about in the M&G game, is your dunk style. Getting on the fast break, you almost look like Carrick Felix from a few years ago. That's what everyone got used to, throwing it down with authority. Tell us, is there something in your basket of tricks that you haven't pulled out yet that you're looking to unleash next season?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of tricks that I feel like I'll be able to display next year with the type of tempo, with the JUCO guards that we have coming in. We're going to be real scrappy, so it's going to be a lot of highlight reels from everybody.
All right, final question for you now. Your last year of eligibility, 6th year, it's been such a journey for you. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it means the world. I mean, to go from where I was to being here now, it's unexplainable. I just wake up every morning, I thank God that I'm here, and I don't want the journey to stop here. I hope this is just the beginning.
Well, we certainly do too, Shaquille. Thank you so much for joining us on set, joined by Sun Devil forward Shaquille McKissic. He's coming back for a 6th season of basketball, his 2nd at Arizona State. Going to be a lot to look forward to. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Shaq. I have a feeling we'll be seeing you a little bit later. Now, before the show even started back at Monday's meeting, our producer Joey told me that this is our last show, and I need to take this very seriously. I believed him, and I did what any responsible scholar would do. I binge-watched Mad Men on Netflix. Last night, I got about 15 phone calls from our producer screaming, "Where are the tweets? Where are the treats?" So I finally got online. And here are the top ones from the year. I asked one from Brett, one from Jason, and one from myself. So here are the culmination of the best tweets of the year. Starting off with me, Jalen Strug saying she be in the club with all the baddies. Now, I've done extensive research on this, and I still have no idea what this means. Guys, help me out with this.
To figure out who the baddies were.
No clue.
And why
Our
would she
research
be?
department had no idea.
Why would she be in the club with baddies? That's like the exact opposite of what I want to do.
We have a critical error. Instead of getting Shaq in studio, we need Jalen Strong
Exactly.
to solve this issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Next time. We'll get them next
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
All right, let's throw up tweet number 2. This is from Brett. Brett says from Taylor Kelly's beard profile, "Why grow a beard? Because Taylor Kelly is all man." And I agree with that. Agree with that 100%. He is all man. You got to be all man if you're going to be a quarterback.
Fear the follicle.
Fear the follicle.
Fear the follicle.
Fear the follicle, indeed.
I think he's growing it out all summer long, so I think it's going to be pretty lengthy, maybe Viking status when we get back in the fall. We'll see.
With the exception of Peyton Manning, I only follow quarterbacks with beards, and they're all man.
Understood.
Does any other quarterback have, like Andrew Luck maybe? That's it.
Yeah, but he just looks disgusting. All right, back to tweet number 3. This is from Jason. "Anybody got the red Yeezys for sale?" Now, I know nothing about shoes because I am white.
Me either.
So I had to ask someone else, and he said these are the most exclusive shoes out there. They're about $5,000 by Kanye, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, Kanye's shoes. $5,000. Would you spend $5,000
No,
on
I
a shoe?
$5,000 on anything.
Maybe a boat. I'd buy a boat. for
I have
$5,000.
shoes for the past like 4 years that my mother tells me to get rid of.
I have a very nice pair of Skechers that are very comfortable.
Skechers are awesome.
Balance.
New Balance.
New
Okay.
Balance are good,
Nike,
yeah. I like
yeah,
those.
yeah,
Reeboks.
absolutely.
Anything
Absolutely.
tennis, sneaker shoes, nothing that is more expensive than everything else in my entire
Am I
life.
too old to have those light-up shoes?
No,
Okay, does it
absolutely.
make me run
Heelys. Do you remember
faster?
Heelys?
Heelys are awesome.
were the
I couldn't
best.
get those because I couldn't balance, so
No, they're
it was
pretty-
bad for me.
They're pretty awesome. But you know what's also been trending on Twitter? The MCLA playoffs. The rankings are out. A clean slate has been given to every team. Winners advance, the losers end their season. Sounds a lot like March Madness, doesn't it? Well, that's because it is. Well, at least for the ASU lacrosse team. And just like March Madness, we here at CSL break out the brackets, pick some insane picks, and pray that our luck is on our side. Luckily for you, though, we have 2 bracketologists that can break down whatever you want to know about this year's MCLA postseason. CSL analyst Mauricio Casillas and Cameron Neely are here to tell you what the ASU lacrosse team is up against as they start their quest for their first national championship. Guys?
Jake, thank you very much. As you said, here with Mauricio Casillas, who usually is behind the desk, but today he's going to help educate us on Arizona State lacrosse. Mauricio, how are you doing?
Doing well.
Very good. Well, today is Friday, and today is also the SLC playoffs. The Final Four kicks off. ASU is playing UC Santa Barbara, and on the other side of the bracket, Chapman is playing UNLV. How do you think things are going to shake out today?
Well, I think ASU definitely got the tougher side of the bracket. I think playing against UCSB. That's a team that's been a top 10 team throughout the season. So I think they got the tougher side of the bracket, but I think they win. They get through on that side of the bracket to the finals. Then Chapman against UNLV. I think Chapman just has too much firepower. Although UNLV did upset GCU, I think Chapman's too much. Then in the finals, ASU against Chapman. I got to go with ASU. I think they're the tougher team right now. They've got the experience, they're hungry for it, and they've got that senior leadership. And Coach Malone's going to have them playing in tip-top shape.
Talk about Coach Malone, his last season. He will definitely have the troops ready for battle. No matter what happens in the SLC, the Arizona State Seminoles will be in the MCLA National Tournament. Will be going for a championship. How do you think things will go there?
Well, like you mentioned, Cam, ASU is definitely going to be one of my top teams in the MCLA tournament. Then you got CU and BYU, who are two top teams in the RMLC. Regardless of what happens in that tournament, I think both teams are still one of my top 4 seeds. Then Boston College playing really good lacrosse out of the East Coast, 10-2, 4-1 in the PCLL, and a big win against BYU. They're one of my top 4 teams. Then you got UCSB. UCSB, a team right now that has been consistent, a top 10 team. They're playing well. GCU, I think, is struggling a little bit, but they have a really tough schedule, and I think because of that schedule, they get in. And then my last 2 teams to get in, you got Westminster and Texas State, both teams that have done just enough to get in. Texas State was actually undefeated in the Lone Star Allegiance Conference, and I think that's just enough for them to get in.
A diverse group of teams. We're about as diverse a group of people you're going to get here at CSL. Thank you very much, you guys. Sending it back to you.
Thanks, guys. This is a very special debate segment because these questions are brought to you by our followers on Twitter. Very exciting. I'm looking forward to this. Let's throw it to a 2-box. That made me dizzy. What the? No, I don't like that.
There's a guy next to you.
Ooh, what do you mean?
Oh, God.
Okay.
Shaquille McKissic at the desk, everybody.
Okay, sorry.
So,
I didn't see.
Start with the debate.
All right, we'll start with the debate. We're already, our nerves calm. All right, debate question number 1. What is ASU's basketball team's toughest challenge? Shaq, you know, I'm going to ask you first because you know the best.
I think just the camaraderie of next year, creating a brotherhood, a family, just us being one. It's a lot of JUCO players coming in, but I'm from JUCO, so I think I know what it takes to handle that a little bit.
Absolutely. I think the biggest problem that you guys have right now is just making sure everyone gels together. Like you said, a lot of JC players coming in. You're going to have a really young squad next year, and making sure that Herb can get everyone on the same page by the beginning of the season, that's basically the only key you guys really have. And you guys have a successful season because of it.
Yeah, I won't waste time because you guys are both right. All I'll say is that, yeah, I'm not from JUCO, but I know what a family is, so I know that, yeah, it's gonna be, so you guys are going to have to bring each other together to really get the season going.
All right, well, a lot of great points, but I'm going to give the final points to Shaq because, 1, he's on the team. Yeah. He knows what he's talking about.
Ridiculous.
All right, question number 2. What is McKissick's 2014-2015 average going to be? Guys, come on.
Go first, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is such a hard one. I know everybody's going to be watching. I don't want to say anything that offend anybody. So 15 plus is my guess.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, Brett, all you.
Protect me here, but 2 points, 2 points per game.
Them's fighting words,
it might
Brett.
It might be a little too high. I think it depends. Just being honest. I like as a journalist. That's my integrity.
That's perfectly fine with me.
All right, Shaq, you averaged 9 points per game last year, only on 196 attempts. So I think this year you're gonna have definitely more attempts, more on the ball type of stuff. You said 15 points. I'm gonna top that. I'm gonna go 20 points per game, and you're gonna have. It's gonna be a good season.
Thank you.
You know what? I know none of you, but Brett's gonna like this. I'm gonna give the points to Brett because he was man enough to dish Shaq.
No.
But Shaq's gonna prove you wrong, Brett. Shaq's won every.
I hope so.
All right, and for the last question, does ASU basketball have a bad recruiting? I don't know. Shaq, what do you think?
I don't think so. I committed to Detroit. I ended up coming here. I mean, all the fans like me. So, I mean, we'll have to see after this next JUCO class that's coming in, but we're pretty excited.
I'll take this one.
Yeah,
I got to say that the recruiting is not bad. Arizona, if you're a recruit from Arizona, you're going to the school down south, unfortunately. Herb does a great job bringing in the JUCO people like yourself and does well in California. So he's not terrible at recruiting. He could do better, but not terrible.
Yeah, exactly. This has been a hot topic on our show. I'll get serious here for a second. But, they have produced James Harden, Jahi Carson, Pendergraph, a couple of good draft picks. Baczynski will be up there. especially like you said, with Arizona in the same state, that kind of program, it is a little more impressive what we see.
Brett, time's up. I got to cut you off there.
Fine.
And you know what? Since Shaq chose us instead of Detroit, I'm choosing Shaq. He wins the debate, the first ever non-anchor to the win.
You didn't give me 1 point.
No, you get no points. Shaq wins it all. Congratulations, Shaq. Very good job.
Quick shout out though, the guy that you see on the screen right there, Kennedy, unfortunately will not be joining us again next semester. We wish you best of luck, Kennedy, in your future endeavors, bud.
Thank you guys. It's been a blast. I've enjoyed every second of it.
We've enjoyed you, Kennedy, as always. You know, I texted Cronkite Sports Live analyst Zach Pockleb last night to see what his softball segment for today's show was about. He replied, quote, Popescu and Escobedo being awesome, end quote. Mackenzie Popescu has a sparkling 1.35 ERA this season. Dallas Escobedo stands at 1.65. Each have 20 wins and each has a no-hitter. Dallas has struck out 1 in every 2 batters she faced, which, wow, and well, Popescu has not. So who's more awesome? Well, Zach and I disagree, but he's the expert, so you'll get his take right here. He's here now with Jason Chesler.
Hey, thanks a lot, Brett. Zach and I are here to tell you all a tale. Not a tale of 2 cities, a tale of 2 pitchers. And of course, this ASU softball team, they're firing on all cylinders, Zach. They hit, they field, but above all, they pitch. It starts with their 2 aces up at the top.
Yeah, and their pitchers, Dallas Escobedo and Mackenzie Popescu, are what make Arizona State so dangerous and so special. Statistically, they're very, they're affluent, and they do it in different ways. Dallas Escobedo has 273 strikeouts on the year, second in the NCAA. Popescu has only given up 7 extra base hits on the entire season. She's a ground ball pitcher. She pitches to contact, while Escobedo is a power pitcher. So although they're different stylistically, they're both extremely dominant.
Absolutely. A pair of pitchers doing things very differently. It's almost like apples and oranges, Zach.
Both tasty.
I'm going to have to ask you to compare them, of course. We're going to play a game, a little hypothetical game. That's what we're calling it, hypothetically. Let's pretend there is no Coach Nicholson. Let's pretend there's a Coach Pockleb. So skip. Game 3 of the finals of the Women's College World Series. Mackenzie Popescu, Dallas Escobedo, they're both available. They're both ready to go. Who are you sending out?
Well, Escobedo has all the accolades, but I personally will go against the grain, pick Mackenzie Popescu. Not a popular choice, obviously, but Popescu is just, a lot of teams can't get a beat on her. She mixes up her pitches, the location, pinpoint accuracy, painting the corners. That drop ball is dirty, get a lot of ground balls. Obviously, with only giving up 7 extra base hits on the entire season, team just can't get solid contact. And Escobedo's a little prone to giving up the home run. Last game of the season, I don't want to see the ball leave the yard, so I'm just going to stick with Mackenzie Popescu, Wild Thing 99.
Yeah, Wild Thing 99. She definitely wins the Twitter handle battle as well, and that's an important one. I'm sorry, Miss Escobedo, you're a fantastic pitcher. Dalpow 12 has got to go. And hey, Zach Pockleb and I, we've got to go as well, so we're going to send things back to the desk.
If we had an award for the best tic-tac-toe player during the live show, it would be me. If we had an award for our best analyst, I say it might go to Zach Pockleb because that guy is solid. Sadly, we don't have those awards. But we do have these special awards called Player and Coach of the Week, except this time,
it's of the year. Let's start with Coach of the Week. The year, excuse me. Craig Powers, man, he's the power of powers. Led ASU hockey to its first ACHA national championship, 38-2. Is that right? It is. Right. That's incredible by this coach. Congratulations for getting Coach of the Year.
He's the top coach, our top player. Okay, so while I mentioned Zach Pockleb and I, we disagree on Escobedo and Popescu. He says Popescu, I say Escobedo. Dallas does it best. These numbers are incredible. The ERA, sure, it's a little higher than Popescu's, but if you look at that 1.167 batting average against, those 273 strikeouts, second in the nation, the top pitch in the fast pitch draft, Dallas Escobedo is a stellar pitcher, has been dominant all season. My award goes out to her.
Hey, Brett, you know what time is it?
I don't have my watch. What's up?
It's top plays
of the year.
Number 3, Nikki Gerard at the plate. She's going to swing the bat a little bit. She's going to get the pitch right now. And it's going to go to second. And who's coming home? Bethany Kemp's coming home, and she's safe at home. Why does that matter? Dallas Escobedo gets a no-hitter because of it. She has a walk-off win. Dallas Escobedo, no-hitter. That's pretty incredible, number 3.
And that just perfectly backs up my list for Dallas Escobedo as the Art Player of the Year. Number 2, we remember this play. ASU were taken to the lacrosse field. They're playing San Diego State a couple weeks ago. Here's the goalie behind the net. He's got the ball. We're going the other way. Up. Not. Here's Justin Straker. Catch it. Twirl it. Throw it. Finds the twine. Did you see that in the corner, Jake? Did you spot? Let's go to that again.
Is he on the ground?
Uh-huh.
Oh. That's
It's going down.
I'm yelling timber.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
Okay, beside the point.
Here's number 1.
3, 2, 1. Do you believe in miracles?
Yes! ASU hockey wins the ASU National Championship. Their first ever in-school program history.
And this is why Greg Powers should be Coach of the Year. Backs up my statement right there. Congratulations to the ASU hockey
And great work
team.
by our production team to put that together and back up our statements.
Absolutely. They're great. They're great.
ASU hockey ends up the season number 1 in the country, and we're ended up our season as number 1 in the entire collegiate world, the best live sports show in the country. We firmly believe that. But if you go back to August, September, this show didn't exist, the beginning of the year. And now all I can think about is, wow, look at how far we've come.
Brett, we started off the semester here and began Cronkite Sports Live at the beginning of semester. And fortunately, we get to end it here. But we have to give out so many thank yous for this great show.
1, 2, 3, each of our cameramen in this studio, in our other studio, an entire control room in there, Joey Hardy, Trey Lanthier, Anthony Persino, our main producers, the amount of work that everyone in this entire show in front of the camera and behind, the work they put in and day out to get us to this point, I can't imagine where we'll one day end up. Fantastic job.
I absolutely got to say Trey Lanthier and Joey Hardy put in a monstrous amount of work into this show, and you guys should be definitely proud. So, Brett, for Kerry Crowley and Mauricio Casillas.
For Trey Lanthier and Kyler Mead, and of course, our favorite foreign friend, John from Guam. He's from Guam.
I'm Jake Gaden.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be back in the fall.